Hey there, welcome to GhostPrime Reviews. So I want to take a look at Legacy Evolution Leo Prime. Originally, he was called Lio Convoy. I have a very hard time saying that. You can see these takes I've taken of this. It is difficult to say Leo Prime for me because he's always Lio Convoy. His first appearance was in Beast Wars' second anime from the 1990s, and that came out I think before the second season of the original Western Beast Wars, and it was a traditional animation instead of the CG animation of the original Beast Wars. And the timeline for that cartoon actually takes place many, many years in the future. And the first episode, he appears, he's following Beast Wars Galvatron, and he lands into a trap, gets, his ship gets hurled through an explosion all the way to the planet Gaia, where he crash lands. And that's actually post-apocalyptic Earth. And when he crash lands there, he's found by a white lion, and who takes him basically on his back to his cave that's sparkly, probably energy on it, revives him. He takes the form of that white lion, and that's how he becomes a lion. So it's an interesting story, and if you can get through all the Japanese kid animation type stuff, it's pretty cool to watch. He does team up with the original Beast Wars Optimus Primal in one or two episodes, and they have a burning fire attack. Anyway, watch it. It's cool. Without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, here it is in the package. So you have the line in front, which is a really good choice to have them right there. I think it looks really good. You got the Legacy Evolution on the front, on the side. Robot mode, close up, full picture. On this side, this is a new image for Legacy Evolution. Looks like half of what we got. Decepticons probably have the other half. On the back, there is Robot and Tiger mode, 35 steps in between the two. You can see his gun deployed here, some of the gimmicks. On top, we have the QR code. So here's what it shows. All right, let's get this guy opened up and out of the package and check him out. All right, get him opened up and out of the package. He comes with his weapons. He comes with the robot. He comes with the instructions. Now, the weapons are for, this actually goes in the lion's head, or he can actually hold these as pistols as well. They are cast in this yellowish gold plastic. And he also has these, which go in the lion's back or on the sides of the mane right here in either mode, really, I guess. And also within his forearms. I'll show you all that in a minute. The instructions have the Legacy Evolution on them. And here they are. They're not as clear, I think, as they could be, but he's not a hard figure to transform. Now, with these weapons, he can, like I said earlier, he can hold these in his hands. If I can get them in there. There, he can't hold his hands. It is blast effect compatible, like that. These here pieces also open up, come untabbed, and there's a 5mm port in there, which you can attach these to, or via this little slot there, or you could just peg right in there, like that. Take that out. That's really tight in his hand. Also, if you take his shoulders here and move these out, there are 5mm pegs there, which is where these commonly go, if you'll find that way on the original one. And in the cartoon, he does use these. Like that, and they are, again, they have blast effects coming out the shoulders, like so. So let's get up real close to this guy and take a look at him. All right, moving in on that head sculpt. I think this head sculpt's wonderful. I've always liked there's slight differences between this and Generation 1 Prime, but he's very cool. He's got a different brow and different ears and some extra detail on the side of the head here. His eyes are done in yellow, and I think it looks really nice. On the chest here, you got some good paint with the blue and the red, the silver. Got the Maximal logo there, Tampa graphed, and if you open this up, there is that's his matrix. Moving down, You see the pelvis painted blue, yellow, and I think that's paint with the silver color on that. Looks good. White, all plastic. Painted knees, painted silver bits and blue. Painted nails. Fist, you have blue painted and cast in the, looks like the metal, gunmetal plastic. Red, plastic, gold, plastic. No metal swirls in this gold. So I don't think this will have any type of GPS. There's a line head in the side. We'll get to that more. On the back, he does have a backpack, which you can put the 2 guns in there, and you could actually make it kind of like a jetpack. This actually doesn't tab in. It just sort of sits there. That's something that's annoying. One of the things you could do is his weapons. Now his whole entire leg sits under his arm. This is something I don't like, but you could swing this around like the original. Let me actually do this first. And that way he has a claw attack like that. It's kind of weird, but that's what it is. That's how it was in the cartoon. That's how it is in the subsequent versions. So before we get into articulation, let's do a little bit of comparisons. All right, first we'll compare them to the original. Mine has yellowed a little bit over the years. Very apparent next to the very bright white of this one. But so you can see all the basic detail is there. I don't have the masterpiece of this guy. I debated getting him. I don't have a lot of Beast Wars masterpieces, so. But I've always thought this one was cool. Here he is next to Optimus Primal. The Transformers, I believe, Universe that came out in 2007. Leo Prime. And here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime. So you can see, get a height. He is a rather short little guy. Okay, moving on to articulation for him. Articulation is sort of limited by his shoulder pieces, but luckily they are able to be moved out of the way. So you get his arm all the way up. If you move all these pieces, his shoulder goes up out like that. He does have 360 at the bicep. It's kind of unsightly there where you can see that. His elbow is 90 degrees. Can't really do anything at the wrist at all. This is on a ball joint, so you can kind of move it. That's not really articulation, but could be used for poses. He does have 360 at the waist. His head is on a ball joint, I think. Yeah, you can get a little inquisitive look there. It does go 360. Again, this shoulder has the same articulation as this one, but you have to finagle it around this piece and this piece. He's got a lot of kibble on him. His hips could go out pretty far. He has biceps, thigh swivels right there. You can also kick about that far and go back pretty far too. His knees are double jointed, but they don't use that double joint, and that's something that I thought they would. I thought he would have a lot more range than that. I thought they'd move it back a little further. And I think that's a missed opportunity. This is unsightly here. This open right here, at least they could have done is painted, or I don't know, maybe paint wouldn't work, but I don't like the way that looks, just open like that on the outside of the figure. He has kind of get him in a, I guess, an ankle twist sort of thing, but it's really for transformation. A pose there. Nothing up and down on the feet. That's pretty much it for transformation. But one thing I do really need to say about him is he just looks amazing standing from the front. The proportions are really good on him. I think he looks really, really fantastic. A lot like that cartoon rendition of him, beyond all the realistic fur and everything on detail on that. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, I think he looked good from the front. Maybe the side, not so much. And the back is whatever. But he does look good from the front. And so for transformation, we're going to go ahead and just move this piece off to the side. It is on a swivel, like I mentioned before. Then we're going to do the same thing with the head. The head actually could slide forward a bit, and then you could move it like that. So you get that completely out of the way. Move this up, and there is this contraption here, which actually is a swivel. So you're going to swivel that all the way around like that. You can kind of see where this is going already. Now, if you're one of the people like I am, and try to do these things without looking at the instructions, just note that there's a hinge here and a hinge here. This actually hides this really well. You have to open this up. That's what these hinges for. It's really well hidden. I think that's really cool. So then you go ahead and take, hopefully this head doesn't pull out, which it has a tendency to do. Kind of pull this piece forward. I like the way this chest works, actually. It's really cool. Move that there, move the head in. And you got some detail on the inside. And close that up. That becomes the belly. And then what we like to do is take the arms here and the chest pieces, move them up, kind of get that around like that. Take the fist, if you could see on camera would be nice. Move that down the fist like this, like that. Take the leg and extend that leg and turn it around. So you have something that's like this. And then we're gonna, hang on, put this up over like that. Move the arm around. And then so what's gonna happen is there is this slot right there and there's a tab and that's gonna tab in. So you do like that. Get that tabbed in there. I always have trouble getting this tabbed in because I can't see it. I got these big fingers. There we go. So that just kind of tabs in. Same thing with the other arm. So once you get the arms like this, all moved in, you can see where you have to tab the chest back while these are tabbed in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them right here for right now, just so I get all this stuff put together in the back. I'm gonna move the legs straight like this. Move this down here. So what there is there's these tabs on the inside. You can see the tabs here, and there's a tab here and a slot there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move that head down. Move this in like that. Slot those in the arms while you have them up. This piece goes like this, slots in either side very tightly. So I just move this piece up, just get out of the way for my fingers. So now you have the arms in here. These always come in tab for me, which is why I'm doing it now. Tab those together. Take, you see these tabs here. So take the arms, so that line arms and the tab slot there. So I go ahead and just put those, slot those in. Oh, come on, arms, stay tabbed. Same thing on the other side. Move it around. Keep it tabbed. Tab that in tightly. A little squeeze. Put that down. Legs. Backwards. Backwards. Take the knees and kind of collapse them like that. Move the heel spurs in. Take the shins and move them around. I like this. I think it's really cool. Oh, one thing I did forget, and I always seem to forget it. He actually has a much longer tail than that. I gotta undo the back part now. I did forget to do this, but this luckily comes off to the side. Easy enough to do. There you go, not too bad. That's how the tail goes. And he's got a little wagging tail. And there he is in lion mode. All right, so here we are up close on him. I think it makes a really successful lion. I dig this quite a lot more than I thought I would. It's better than most lion or cat transformers as far as just how nice it cleans up. Like even on the other side cleans up pretty well, besides the little chest piece there. Now I know one point of contention is this face, that he looks, well, realistic, and it is in line with the other beast formers that they have realistic alt modes, and his is no exception to that. It doesn't have a stylized lion. The line is very stylized in Beast Wars 2 or Beast Wars 2nd, however you want to say it. So, you know, I get that. He does have an opening mouth, no paint in it. No paint on the ears, but they were gold there. You can see the detailing in the fur and the gold here, which actually matches much better in this light than it does to my eye. To my eye, this is far too shiny compared to this. You have the tail, the back there. So yeah, overall it's pretty good. Articulation in line mode really is this and whatever the legs could do. Not a whole lot out. There's not a lot I could really do, but it does have these pieces here, much like the original. You could move the, let me get that out there, fur here on the side up, and you could expose the cannons on top. You get something like that. These here pieces, guns, could go on the side here. So they fit on the side like that. That's if you want a more, I guess, official look, like toy look from the original. Also, there's little slots here, like I mentioned earlier, that could have this pegs into it, which is a really tight fit. And they kind of pegging like that. One thing, I wish these had red on them to break that up a little bit. You kind of get, it gets lost in the line mode. All blast effect compatible, so you could just, you know, make it look like he's going to battle here with his sad lion face. But all these weapons do store, like I mentioned earlier, these store in here and never need to be taken out. You could put them in those in this part right there, and you could never have to take them out for transformation. Same with these, never have to take them out for transformation. Just leave them there until you want to use them. No big deal. So that's a really cool thing. Let's get some comparisons. Since I already have them transformed, I'm gonna go ahead and put the original Flash Leo Convoy here. I guess he's gonna lay down because his front legs are way too weak to have him stand up. But so you can see kind of how this looks, kind of how they look. And that's what I mean about the face being stylized for the cartoon. This is very cartoon accurate. So you can kind of see, you know, just the size too. The size is much smaller. But the back legs on this, that's how the back legs are on the original, where the back legs on this are much nicer, much cleaner. I put my other beast formers away and I can't find where they are right now. So there he is with red Sunstreaker. So let's go over some final thoughts on him. This figure's pretty cool, having missed the Masterpiece. I think it's a good stand-in for me. I don't really collect the Beast Wars Masterpiece stuff, but I do like Beast Wars toys in general. I collect primes, so I had to pick them up. I like the way it looks from the front. I don't like some of the kibble that's on it. I'm okay with the face. I think that's fine. I had to pick him up. He's a lot smaller than I thought he would be, but I think he's overall really cool. I love the design. I love the sculpt work on it. I think it's done really well. Some of the things, like some of the exposed bits, I think could be done without, but I guess what can you do, right? He doesn't have the spin gimmick, which I didn't go over in the review, but I actually do kind of miss in this. Not that I ever used it on the original, but it's kind of cool. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and all that. And if you want to see a review of the originals, let me know. I'm more than happy to do the review of the original. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you later.